girl, you're so fine. I can't get you off my mind. Ooh, girl, nah, nah. Ooh, girl, nah, nah. Baby girl, don't need to flex. Dance to the rhythm and you do all the rest. Ooh, girl, nah, nah. Ooh, girl, nah, nah. Fly me up with dreams, the only thing I need. When I'm down, lift me up with your company. There's no telling what you and me creating. We're on the same wavelength. Feel the beat tonight, something good inside. Set you free, let you lose all track of time. Come on, have a conversation. Don't treat me like a stranger. You give me motivation, make my life vacation. When we are together, I surrender. Give you all my money, make you look so lovely. Never feeling lonely. Baby girl, you're so fine. I can't get you off my mind. Ooh, girl, nah, nah. Ooh, girl, nah, nah. Baby girl, don't need to flex. Dance to the rhythm and you do all the rest. Ooh, girl, nah, nah. Ooh, girl, nah, nah. You're my island, tray of diamonds. Big was fake, help me find you. You're a blessing, reminiscent of the time when I found myself destined. Feel the beat tonight, something good inside. Set you free, let you lose all track of time. Come on, have a conversation. Don't treat me like a stranger. You give me motivation, make my life vacation. When we are together, I surrender. Give you all my money, make you look so lovely. Never feeling lonely. Baby girl, you're so fine. I can't get you off my mind. Ooh, girl, nah, nah. Ooh, girl, nah, nah. Baby girl, don't need to flex. Dance to the rhythm and you do all the rest. Ooh, girl, nah, nah. Ooh, girl, nah, nah.
You can secure Coronation at your hours.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to the Monday podcast. Hope you're all doing well. Please hit that thumbs up and subscribe button. Pinch punch, first day of the month. Can you believe that we are in May? Wow. We are in May and the coronation is this week. Can't believe we're here already. This year is just whizzing past. And after the coronation, there's so many amazing things for us to look forward to. So let's keep our heads up high. Okay, I've been a little bit disorganized today, so I haven't gotten around to putting the title up even. But today we are talking about William, allegedly, has come out today, maybe reading a tribute to Camilla and Charles. Don't know how accurate this is, but it was a story that came up. It looked like a palace leak. So I'm going to discuss that. And also, Piers Moron seems to have broken his cover. He was talking about Harry on the Australian Sky News. A little bit more tame than usual, I have to say. You could definitely tell he was a bit more tame, but still flapping his gum nonetheless. He's decided to break his cover. And this is why we don't go to pubs and hug Piers Morgan, Beatrice. Do you know what? It literally only occurred to me that one of the other reasons why Beatrice has decided to jump on this hate train and is running around hugging Piers Morgan is that Harry did actually bring up Andrew in Spare. I completely forgot about that. So maybe this is her way of getting back at him and taking her dad's side, because Andrew is mentioned very briefly in Spare. Rhonda, that's a pretty darn impressive and pumped sing along. Well, those are the same football fans, by the way, who did this. Yeah. So those are the same football fans. This was sometime last year. So they made it pretty clear how they feel. Please, everyone, continue to pray for Church Nelly. Has anyone got any updates? Is she doing better? Hope she is. Okay, let's get into it. Today's going to be a relatively short podcast. I didn't move. I managed to move, and I'm a little bit more up in the hills now, a little bit away from the center, but it's quite nice. Got a nice view of the hills up here. Right, over in New Zealand, the Prime Minister is in favour of becoming a republic, although he says that he is not himself going to put this on his agenda. So this is the replacement for Jacinda Ardern, who is now working with Earthflop and Prince William. Wonder how Jacinda is feeling watching this absolute mess of a coronation unfold. But yes, he says that he is in favour, but he's not going to actively do anything. So that's going down in New Zealand. Back in London. Oh no, this is the wrong story. Yeah, back in London, cats are stealing hundreds of pounds worth of items from neighbours. That is happening. So please do watch your items around cats. But that is not the story that is meant to be on the slide. It's actually meant to be another story about the Westminster cat who was set upon the abbey to kill all the mice, but apparently he didn't find any mice. So even the mice don't want nothing to do with these with the coronation. The rodents aren't interested either, because the Westminster cat did not find any mice. Apparently, that was a story that was meant to be up on the screen. Needed to inject some humor in there. But yeah. Also do watch your items, because cats are stealing them. There's been some interesting images also coming out running up to the coronation, showing the, I guess, just tone deafness of this whole event, given what's going on in the UK right now. So you've got one image in Tesco's where you've got "Let's celebrate the King's coronation" right next to a donation box for food, and those donations go to community food banks. You've got in the middle somebody who lives in a very small flat, tiny, possibly a council flat, and you've got Charles with the flag in the background. And what's so weird to me is the way in which, and we saw this yesterday, I played that video, the way in which some of the poorest people put this institution on a pedestal. And one of the things that I keep hearing is that not accepting monarchy or not being proud of monarchy somehow makes you treasonous, a traitor to your nation, unpatriotic, as if republicanism hasn't been around forever, as if there aren't many, many other things to be proud of as if there aren't many other things that make up British identity. And I have this theory that the establishment wants you to attach institutions like the royal family to your identity because they just want to uphold a system. Because if you can attach an institution like the monarchy to your identity, right, you're never going to attack it. You're never going to attack something that is attached to you in that way. And that means you're never going to question it. And if you never question it, you never ask the question, why is it that we're having a 250 million pound coronation? And I think that's actually not a real number. I think it's a lot higher. Why are we having a 250 million pound coronation when there are people using food banks and warm banks? The last picture is an advertisement for homeless young people right next to a huge display for the coronation. And that's why I think you are hearing this rhetoric of, what is it with these people who are anti-monarchy? They're being anti-British. No, I think one of the most patriotic things that you can do as a citizen is question why it is that we have this small elite group of people that live these lavish lifestyles, that have all this power and really do nothing for the people. That I think is the most patriotic thing that people can do. So just watch out for this, because I'm hearing it more and more as we move towards the coronation. This kind of belittling of anyone who just isn't going along with all of this. And how can you? How can you look at these images and not at least ask some questions? I don't know. I don't know how you justify it. Oh, to your comments. Because it also makes me wonder, why isn't there a push to, push working class history, for example, as part of British identity? All of the amazing rights that have been won in this country, workers' rights, the Industrial Revolution, the suffragettes. Like, there's so many other things that you could attach and be proud of when it comes to your identity. Why the most elitist institution in the country? An institution that protects abusers, an institution that rejects anyone who comes into it that tries to be good and kind and progressive. It's so that you don't question it, and if you don't question it, you don't push back. Because if people did push back, they'd be wanting to take back their money, take back their land, take back everything that was stolen from them, from these people who are just hoarding so much wealth. I mean, if Charles wanted this big coronation, he could have paid for it himself. Just sell one of those crowns. Ugh. Okay. Debbie said all Brits should be concerned about giving allegiance to Charles's heirs, especially if UK law is similar to US common law, where heirs aren't determined until death and can be anyone descendant. I mean, there's a rule of, succession and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm not so sure about that, Deb. But what's interesting is that all of these people who are hardline royalists, I don't know if they've figured out yet that when you are pledging allegiance to Charles, you're also pledging allegiance to his descendants. So you're also pledging allegiance to Archie and Lily. Do you think they figured that out yet? Alma, and what's with the sad, hungry folks? Yet they still support the group who caused it. Is this cultist thinking or mass Stockholm syndrome? I think so. Because I just don't understand it. There are many countries that keep their monarchy. I guess you could say in like as like baubles, as decorations in the background, right? They don't have the powerful grip that the British monarchy has over the UK. Like in other countries, the monarchy is not an extension, an arm of government. Okay, next thing. Yeah, so this came out in the Daily Fail that William will apparently give a heartfelt and loving speech paying tribute to Charles and Camilla at the Coronation concert. So this will be allegedly at the concert and not at the coronation. Now, this is obviously the Daily Fail, so I will, on one hand, I'm taking it with a pinch of salt, but also because it is a Daily Fail, there is a chance that it could also be a leak and that William will absolutely do this. It's left to be seen. But if he does do this, after he called his mother paranoid, well then that hairline of his is 100% justified. Because then we will know for sure that Diana reached down from heaven and snatched back her jeans. If this guy stands there and gives a heartfelt speech to Camilla, I might just throw a tomato at my TV screen in hopes that it will go through and land in the UK. I don't even know what I'll say to that. If he does do this, big if. But as things stand now, Camilla has a very strong grip of everything that is going on. I do remember there being an article not too far back about Camilla's son, I think Tom Parker Bowles, being the new secret weapon that is being unleashed. And Camilla knows all of William's secrets. She can weaponize that. And if she wants to seal the deal and do her ultimate victory lap, she got her crown, she got her crowning moment. What better way for her to seal the deal than to have one of Diana's sons stand there in front of the whole world after he called his mother paranoid and serenade Camilla? Oh dear. Pamela, you said it's going to take the UK people to rise up and defend their beliefs in economy. You're talking about a whole revolution there. Dante's Cave, nice name. You said UK citizens have broken the class propaganda. It leads to protests for their working rights. This exposes a ridiculous elite aristocracy system, including an entire ruling branch of the House of Lords. Yes, and I would like to see more of that because the spirit of what is going on right now with the protests is that, to me, is the spirit of Britain, right? And we need more of that. And that needs to continue. Because showing up to a coronation when you can't even heat your homes just doesn't make sense. This is why I said the other day, there's so many of these protests going on. Honey, if you're not protesting on May 6th, then you're not protesting at all. I think that all of the unions should have come together and protested on May 6th. I think that would have made the biggest impact because they've been protesting like what, since January? And now you've even got the government suing the nurses union. So they could have just saved all of that energy, saved all of that time, said everyone, all at the same time. What better day than Coronation Day? Oy. And don't forget that William calling Diana paranoid, all of this kicks off around the same time. Well, actually, no, it wasn't around the same time, but after, well, we now know that William took a deal from Murdoch. And then not too long after, you've got this campaign to get rid of and erase Diana's words in the Martin Bashir interview, and then William calling his mother paranoid. Chris Walker, you said It's truly unbelievable, really, that people are not more upset about all of this abuse of power, especially taking tax money for this extravagant clown show. Well, I tweeted this the other day. Um, Alan Vernon, sorry, before I get onto that, Alan Vernon, you said Chuck, and Camilla are doing what they can do, humiliate Prince Pegger. I think that's also part of this, putting him in his place. If you don't play along, we've got so many secrets on you. Very, very true, Alan Vernon. So I tweeted this the other day. It got 58,000 impressions, over 1,700 likes, over 100 and probably 150 retweets now, 166 comments. Many of those 166 comments, Megan trolls and Daily Fail trolls, telling me not to come back to the UK, goodbye, you're not going to be missed, blah, blah, blah. Because I said, I'm sipping wine in Tbilisi, I have no plans to return to the UK permanently. And I have many reasons for wanting to leave the UK, mind you. But yes, what I have witnessed with the UK press the last 6 years is one of them. And there were people in the comment section dragging me, saying this isn't the airport, don't announce your departure. As if I'm the only one. There is literally a trend now of British people leaving the UK because of everything that is going on. This is an article that actually came out in the Telegraph, focused on Dubai. But there were some interesting snippets from it. It said, with the UK expected to be the worst performing large economy in the world this year, according to the International Monetary Fund, a slowdown in global deal making has led banks in the city to slash thousands of jobs. We are seeing a huge influx of expatriates from all over the world, but notably, I think, from Western Europe and very notably British people, said Nalini Cook, head of global research at ISC Research. It's definitely a pushback to what has been happening in the UK, says Rommel Grubbs of Dubai-based advisory firm Creative Zone. People are sick of paying more and more tax on their income on houses, especially when there is so much pressure due to the pandemic. One senior director at schools business in Dubai says, whereas a year ago they would receive hundreds of applications for teaching jobs, now they receive thousands, and many of them disgruntled Brits. They are fed up with the conditions in English schools, with politics, with Ofsted, with all their income being eaten up by mortgage payments, the director adds. What is also remarkable is Dubai's transformation into a family destination. One which we are seeing, which I haven't seen before, is families looking to relocate with school-age children without roles in place. So people are literally jumping on their freedom flights without jobs in the next country. Just wow. And yeah, there was this that the BBC posted. It was a 3D image of the St. Edward's crown that Charles is going to be crowned with. Here it is. And then somebody responded with a map of food banks around the UK. Pretty much every tweet, by the way, that the BBC has put out about the coronation, the comment section has been wild. And I am seeing so many accounts that are not squaddy accounts. Like, I have to actually scroll quite a bit to find squaddy accounts. So people are letting their feelings be known. What are we doing spending all this money and why? I really don't know what Saturday is going to look like, folks. Yes, if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for anything. Sorry, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. That is true. Thank you so much, Lucy Wynn, for reminding everybody to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Rhonda, if this is true, then it's the ultimate betrayal. William has no loyalty to anyone, not even himself. Everyone should side-eye him from this day forward. Yeah. Apparently, Catherine will not be wearing a tiara. She will be wearing a crown of flowers. Again, this is just hearsay. But if she doesn't show up in a tiara, To me, that's just another sign that the firm is looking to push her out. I know a lot of you disagree with me on this one, but I do believe that William is going to divorce her. Daisy CC, you said, anywho, y'all think Meghan and Harry will do the Met Gala today? I don't. I mean, if they do, it'll be a hell of a power move. I mean, she just signed to WME, so I mean, the Met Gala, to be honest, it's not what it used to be. I think it had it reached its peak, I think, with Rihanna's yellow dress. And that's when I think people really started to take it seriously. And then Anna Wintour got the Kardashians involved, and I just feel like it's been downhill since then. And now they've got this kiddie influencers running around the red carpet. I just don't think the Met Gala is what it used to be. Like, it should be like the most talented and elite of stars. Like, it kind of should be elitist. We're here on this podcast talking about how we don't like elitism, but like, this is fashion, this is drama, this is couture. It should be the most talented people, or the people who have contributed to the industry not necessarily like elitist as in people who aren't of a certain class or anything like that, but it should be people who are contributing most to arts, media, film, fashion, right? And it's just really not that anymore. So I mean, it'll be fun to see them. It'll be great. I'd love to see what Meghan would wear, because she doesn't really do dramatic looks. But also this year, is celebrating Karl Lagerfeld, and so there's been a lot of controversy about that. So I don't know, given that, if Meghan would want to go, but I'd love to see her there. We'll see. Diana attended, I believe, in 1996, about 3 months after her divorce to Charles was finalized. Marina, I'm sure that camera will be on Harry during that stupid Pledge of Allegiance. Oh yeah. I feel like they're gonna have like a camera that is just on Harry, like just a special feed. Mary H and Duchess, these are the same people doing this to you that can't buy food or pay their bills. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Dante. Yeah, it's just, I don't understand how you can be someone who is struggling so much and you're still bowing down to an institution that just doesn't care. If anything, like, how do you not recognize as a normal person that these people literally do not care about you? Like, at the very least, you should understand that. Thank you, Joan Hickey. Had it braided. Had my hair braided. Yeah, exactly, Janine. Australia is targeting NHS nurses. So is Canada. I don't know. He said nurses on YouTube show UK nurses earn only half as much as the lowest paid USA nurses, with USA nurses making up 4 and 5 times more if travel. Yeah. I mean, my mum works for the NHS, so I have seen the NHS being broken down before my very, very eyes. A lot of people are only waking up to it now. I've been watching it for 2 decades. They are moving you towards private healthcare. Everybody who's listening to this who lives in the UK, please understand that they are moving you towards private healthcare. It's going to happen. And I think one of the things that they're actually trying to do is deliberately break down the system so that you get tired of it and then you start calling for privatization. Yeah, Rhonda, the Met has had its peak. Truly. Having said that, let me not cuss out the Kardashians too much. Kendall Jenner's dress, the Givenchy, the one with the jewels, that was spectacular, I have to say. I don't like those people, but Kendall's dress was just wow. It was actually one of the most incredible dresses I've ever seen. But it has become a vulgar spectacle now, that Met Gala. Okay, next thing I wanted to mention, Russell Crowe. I don't know what Russell Crowe's doing nowadays, but he decided to pop up from whatever cave he was in and defend Charles. So he said the following on Twitter: "Don't bother sending abuse." There's literally no point of starting a sentence on Twitter with that. Don't bother sending abuse because I'm not a monarchist, nor am I a name dropper, but. So he says, I'm not a monarchist, nor am I a name dropper, but. He goes on to defend Charles and drop his name. He says, I met the former Prince Charles at a royal premiere of Master and Commander in London in 2003. Danny was 6 months pregnant with our first. We did the conga line of cast introductions. Sorry, let me make my screen a bit bigger. Struggling to read. Then we sat with him for the film. The man who would be king was kind. He was also funny, deeply intelligent, and good company, and gallant in his deference to Danny's pregnancy. I'll never forget the warmth in our last handshake. Good bloke. I don't think any of us really understand what a life of duty and expectation must feel like. He's taking over the family business. This is his destiny, like it is for many, from publishers to plasterers. You just compared a man with a $1.8 billion fortune to a plasterer? The reason this is Charles's destiny was because he just won the lottery, the birth lottery. In many of my meetings with royalty, I haven't yet been able to utter Your Highness. Let's just go back before I get into his other tweets. So he says that the man who would be king is funny, deeply intelligent, and good company. You know what? Charles could absolutely be all of those things. I've heard many people say that Charles is all of those things. However, he is also someone who left his son, grandchild, and daughter in law open to attack without security, even when their location was leaked, and has done nothing and said nothing to defend his family members from the constant attacks that continue from press and from trolls. So, your experience, Russell Crowe, in the face of all of that, doesn't really matter. I'm honestly wondering whether or not he got a call and somebody's paid him to tweet this. Because this just seems so random to me. And then he also says he's taking over the family business. The family business of what? Hoarding wealth? And then he says a plasterer. A plasterer? A plasterer who will never see the amount of wealth that Charles has. Then he goes on to say, it simply doesn't come out of my mouth. It's not in my DNA. I called both William and Harry mates when I met them. I thought the equerry was going to pass out. That doesn't mean, however, that I meant any disrespect or discourtesy. Far from it. I was pleased to meet them. I view the costumes and the ritual and the pageantry with distant interest. But you decided to tweet about it, if any. I don't know what it's all supposed to mean in 2023, nor in any other time for that matter. I don't really think we need a king, but I'm sure Charles III will do the very best job he can. Dude couldn't even stay faithful in his marriage. You think he's going to be faithful to a nation? Black Queen, Russell Crowe, really? Now I can't watch his freaking movies anymore. I mean, if sit down and eat your food was a person, like Russell Crowe and Mia Farrow. Yeah, Wendy, Russell who? That's who he is now. Russell who? Oh my god. Yes, Free for Dilly. That's not the point, Russell. He's doing this at our expense. The tune of £250 million. And I don't believe that that's the final number. No way. Oh my gosh. Okay. Before I continue, can I say thank you to Alicia C, who joined as a member. Thank you. And who also bought a coffee. And also to Dawn RG. I won't say your full names in case you don't want me to say your full names. But thank you for your coffee. It's much appreciated. Rahini, you said Russell Crowe has accused Azealia Banks, a black rapper, of attacking and spitting on her. So yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know about that. Yeah, Russell. He was nice to me. Didn't say anything when crazy Nazis were trying to kill his daughter-in-law, but he was nice to me. He was nice to me. Oh my god. Yeah, Dante's Cave, looking for attention. Like, bro, who asked you? Who asked you and why are you here? Lightside, you said, I guess even so-called washed-up celebs are feeling the economic burn because, wow, talk about putting your foot in your mouth. Yeah. Like, why are you here? Oh, speaking of why are you here, Donald Trump is in the UK. Now, he's up in Scotland. So I don't know if he will come to the coronation. I don't know if he's been invited. Given that they were so desperate to have a US president, it wouldn't surprise me if come coronation day, he's there. I actually want Donald Trump to go. Please, somebody make that happen. Please, somebody bring that drama. Bring it, please. Right, another palace leak. The palace worried that Prince Harry might pull out of the coronation at the last minute. I don't think that Prince Harry is going to pull out of the coronation. What I think is that they are leaking because they don't know where Harry's going to be, when he's going to show up, where he's sitting. That's why I think we're seeing this leak, because they have no details whatsoever. What I actually think is that there is a spot for Harry in that church somewhere, and they don't know where he's sitting, what time of the arrivals he's going to show up, or where and with whom he's staying. So I think that there would have been conditions when Harry agreed to go, for sure. And with that, I am done, I think, for the day. Nothing else I really wanted to say. Just a quick roundup. Thank you, everyone, as always. You are very, very, very much appreciated. Thank you to Sylvia F for the coffee. Much appreciated, darling. Please continue to pray for Church Nelly. Really do hope that she's okay. Take care of your health, folks. Take care of your health. Don't want anyone in the squad falling ill, please. Genuine, you said, I also believe that William would say, according to the fake photos, they are not fooling the public. I mean, that photo for their anniversary that they released, that is the first time I've seen them with their hands around each other since, like, I don't even know the last time I saw them with their hands around each other. And there's been so many of these moments on red carpets where, you know, Kate goes to hold his hand and he moves his hand away. She puts her hand on his back. He recoils. Puma Rose, I hope you had a good time on that date. Yes, I did. Indeed, I did. We had Italian and went bowling. Fun. Good, clean fun. Maybe they said Harry will be seated 10 rows back. I did see that article, but I wonder if it's just them trolling. But yeah, still pretty much mute silence from most of the royal rotorats, and the ones that have commented, not as harsh as they usually are. And only today on Australia. Okay, I don't know if you heard that. I'm not going to play it because I don't want to hear Piers Morgan's voice. But yeah, he was on Australian Sky News, Rupert Murdoch owned Australian Sky News, saying, why is Harry going to the coronation? And I would say to that, Piers, is why do you care? Thank you so much, Janine. I'm not worried about the trolls. The trolls are the ones that hide their faces. I've never hidden my face here. Like there's nothing that I say that, you know, that I feel like I have to be anonymous for. You could play anything that I said in a court case. It's the trolls that want to hide themselves because they know that they're on the wrong side and that they're bullies. Yeah, Shaydol, they're definitely trying to get a reaction. For sure. All right. Thank you everyone so much. I'm going to leave it there. Go have fun at Barron's, and I will see you all tomorrow. Ciao.
Baby girl, you're so fine. I can't get you off my mind. Ooh girl, nah nah. Ooh girl, nah nah. Baby girl, don't need to flex. Dance to the rhythm and you do all the rest. Ooh girl, nah nah. Ooh girl, nah nah. Sign me up with dreams, it's the only thing I need. When I'm down, lift me up with your company. There's no telling what you and me creating. We're on the same wavelength. Feel the beat tonight, something good inside. Set you free, let you lose all track of time. Come on, have a conversation. Don't treat me like a stranger. You give me motivation, make my life vacation. When we are together, I surrender. Give you all my money, make you look so lovely. Never feeling lonely. Baby girl, you're so fine, I can't get you off my mind. Ooh girl, nah nah. Ooh girl, nah nah. Baby girl, don't need to flex. Dance to the rhythm and you do all the rest. Ooh girl, nah nah. Ooh girl, nah nah. You're my island, tray of diamonds. Big what's fake, help me find you. You're a blessing, reminiscent of the time when I found myself guessing. Feel the beat tonight, something good inside. Set you free, let you lose all track of time. Come on, have a conversation. Don't treat me like a stranger. You give me motivation, make my life vacation. When we are together, I surrender. Give you all my money, make you look so lovely. Never feeling lonely. Baby girl, you're so fine, I can't get you off my mind. Ooh girl, nah nah. Ooh girl, nah nah. Baby girl, don't need to flex. Dance to the rhythm and you do all the rest. Ooh